Hey, good morning everyone. I'm talking to you from Central Italy. My name is Silvana. I am Canadian and I have been living in Italy for the last 40 years. I'm going to show you some of the old secrets of tomato preservation that we do during the month of August. Today I'm going to show you how we're going to do ready-made sauce to conserve during the winter. It is a fantastic sauce made with the tomato San Marzano, which is a famous tomato grown near Naples, and it is a plumpy, chunky tomato. First thing I have done, okay, these tomatoes have been picked. We have organic tomatoes, San Marzano. They're organic. Obviously, it depends on which country you live in. You're not always going to get the organic tomato. I know that in North America, you get the tomatoes that are called the Romans, which are plumpy like this, like these type of tomatoes, to make the sauce. So we have washed the tomatoes at least 3 times. Okay, the second passage is cutting the tomato. I don't even take the main core off. I just cut it in 4s and throw it into a clean pail. So you just continue this until you have finished all the tomatoes. Third passage, we have cut the tomatoes into 4 pieces. We have put them in the pot that has started to boil. You have to look when the liquid starts coming out. This is the natural liquid, no water added, and it just has to keep boiling, stirring constantly, and the burner does not have to be at a high temperature. Beautiful, the color is fantastic. Fourth passage, we add the ingredients to the homemade ready sauce. So we have onions. On 50 kilos of tomatoes, I'm going to be adding about 3 onions. I have the tropea onions. I'm a very fortunate person that my husband grows all these things in his garden. So we have the onions, peppers. You can add 3 or 4, always personal. A little bit of chili pepper, always personal if you want. Basil. I'm not a very lucky person this year. The basil is not a lot, but it is homegrown. Parsley, carrots, and celery, and coarse salt. I have homemade olive oil, virgin olive oil. If you don't have this possibility, please buy pure Italian olive oil. Parsley and the celery do not go cut because with the blade of the knife, it oxidates. Plus, the machine will mince everything once we pass the tomatoes. Basil also goes in like this. We're going to throw it in the pot. The carrots you can cut in cubes. There. Obviously, you can add more carrots if you want. It's personal. The peppers I cut like this because everything will be minced. And onions. I'm cutting the red onions. Any type of onion is good to use. If you have to cut a lot of onions, please put some white vinegar on your board and you will not cry. It's a great secret. Also, the onions I cut in cubes. And you can add as many onions as you want. Once everything is cut, it will be thrown into the pot. After 45 minutes, the sauce should begin to look like this. As you can see, the tomatoes have taken out all their juice and it's become a little bit more liquidy. So I go and I add the peppers, the basil, the parsley, the onions, and the carrots, and we stir it in. This is not a MasterChef recipe, eh? It's very down to earth. It's very, very good. I have 50 kilos of tomatoes. I added 100 grams of salt. The salt is not to give it flavor. It's just to keep it, take away a little bit of the acid and keep it a little more conserved for the year round. But it is my husband's homemade extra virgin olive oil. That is fantastic. I'm not going to be adding a lot. I'm going to be adding half a liter to about 50 kilos of tomatoes. Once you have added the last ingredient, which is the olive oil, okay, stir everything in. And as of now, it has to boil at least another hour, or you keep stirring and checking when the juices start to dry up and the vegetables have become soft. This is the result after about 2.5 hours of cooking. As you can see, most of the juice has dried up. It has become a little bit thicker. It also has condensed because before all the tomatoes were at this point. Now, look how much it has dried up. The vegetables have become soft, and it is ready to be grinded. This is our tomato machine, handmade by my dad, and we have been using it for the last 50 years. Obviously, you will have more modern machines you can use. The process or the steps are pouring in the sauce here. You start the machine and you will get the result of the tomato sauce here. Now, this machine divides the skins and the seeds and the herbs that we put in. This has to go in this part at least 6 times. Here we have a sterilized jar. Glass jar. This is of half a liter. You can make them smaller or bigger. Even one dosage for one person when you're cooking the pasta in the winter. So you have one of these. Pick up the sauce, which is nice and thick. Okay. And here you go. Not right to the top because these have to be closed after thirdly. Just leave a little bit of space between the top and the jar. The thickness of the sauce is just perfect. When you will be cooking or using this in the winter for stews or pasta, this only needs 5-minute cooking. You can re-add some olive oil while cooking, or you can put the water to boil and just heat this up to make the pasta with. They have to be make sure they are tightly closed, otherwise they will explode when they are boiling in the water. Okay, everybody, we are finally at the last step. We have filled in the glass jars, and now we are boiling them to seal well the jars. Once it boils, you let it boil for about half an hour. We're going to be putting a lid on it this time, so it'll boil faster. The sauce can be used once the jar is opened for a maximum of 2 days in the fridge. This jar is one of the jars that is boiled for 45 minutes. Once the water has cooled down, all of these little jars go on your fantastic shelf downstairs that can be used for the whole winter. Thank you very much. Remember to put the label on with the date and the year. And I just wanted to thank you again and love you, Canada, to my brother and my cousins.